The stage is yours, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tim Gaus. I lead our smart manufacturing business in the US.
I'm Alastair. I lead distributed manufacturing for Siemens. And today we're going to show you the magic that happens when the smart guy gets together with his distributed friend.
Look around this fair, and what do you see? Thousands of companies selling IT systems and OT systems with deployment models on cloud or on edge. Autonomous robotics, automated valves, intelligent logistics, AGVs, AMRs, virtual reality, augmented reality, nanotechnology. And the question I want you to ask yourselves is why?
Since the 50s, we've been chasing efficiency through centralization and economies of scale.
And what's this bought us? Factory farms that process billions of animals.
Huge industrial complexes, oftentimes in locations that have limited regulation around the environment or human rights.
Giant container ships circumnavigating the earth, squeezing through war-torn canals filled with products that nobody has ordered. It's time for change. It's time to think differently. It's time to introduce the future of manufacturing, where product innovation is seamless, where customers can personalize the products they order. Manufacturing, it's fast, it's efficient, and we unlock new business models that create new markets that form into circular economies.
So that future of manufacturing is on us. Software-defined manufacturing has reached its point of time. Now, this is going to allow us to deliver the right products in the right place for the right materials at the right time. Now, we don't talk about tech just for tech's sake. That's not the point. It's really about the capabilities it's going to unlock. Things like how do we bring knowledge, not just knowledge of a human, but knowledge of the enterprise to bear? How do we orchestrate the robotics and the people in a seamless fashion? And how do we bring science to the shop floor to solve our problems differently? It is fundamentally a different way of thinking about the future of manufacturing. Now, you may ask, are these all things ready in industrial scale for us today? Frankly, no. But that's the opportunity. A lot of the core pieces are in place and ready to go. You need to embrace those now and lock it in. And those disruptive technologies will be a competitive advantage, but really for those that adopt them early. So the moment is time.
What does this mix of technologies buy us? Transparency? Yes. Efficiency? Sure. But I'd argue that the most important emergent capability is actually flexibility. And that's actually why I use this video, because instead of being formed into rigid production lines that can only make one product, the equipment in this factory has been decoupled, okay, and reformed into a kind of free matrix. Each equipment or cell is highly modular. It can be dynamically reconfigured, and it exposes its automated capabilities to an Industry 4.0 production engine, okay? And that's doing all the orchestration in the facility. This is what Tim was just referring to. It's a very important emergent capability, all right? And it's doing that orchestration according to the product designs that are flowing down the digital thread into the factory.
So this software-defined factory has AGVs talking to AMRs, talking to smart conveyors, really coordinating and orchestrating the entire goods flow to the work cell, which then cascades down where you have a seamless digital thread, intelligent and actionable, overlaid with an AI orchestration to make this a self-learning, self-teaching, and efficient way to deliver goods to the customer on time and in full.
Exactly. So this is cool. We now have a factory that really can make anything automatically on demand. And that's extremely powerful. And it's a really good example of how Siemens and Deloitte make technology with purpose, okay? We prefer to work smart instead of hard, especially me and Tim. So we're not interested in applying digitalization just to eke out marginal productivity gains. So we asked ourselves, now we've got all of this capability, what's the biggest lever that our customers have that we can apply it to?
And we'd argue that's proximity. Really bringing the product to the closest point possible to the buyer itself.
Now, much of the technology that you'll see at the fair will go towards perpetuating a 50-year-old business model, one that's predicated on the idea that borders are just going to remain open, that the cost of transportation will remain artificially negligible, artificially low, and that people are just going to ignore all the externalities of making stuff in the wrong place and then shipping it across continents and oceans to point of need. So here we see a traditional supply chain. It shows a three-sided relationship between the stakeholders, the creator, the buyer, and the producers. And it doesn't really matter where the creator at the top and the buyer live in relation to each other, because the only thing that's flowing between them is information, okay? And that's the same for the relationship between the creator and the producer. We can send manufacturing blueprints from the headquarters to the factory at the speed of light. It's only information. But what connects the producer to the buyer is physical, okay? And the further they are apart, the more cost and complexity and carbon is generated every time a product is ordered and manufactured and shipped.
So in the spirit of thinking smarter, we really wondered what would happen if you were to move the producer as close as possible to the buyer in as many transactions as possible. You see the reduction of all these costs, all these taxes to our cost, our carbon, and our footprint being reduced. So right now, in this future, you're going to be able to produce the right product in the right spot, in the right amount, when needed.
Perfect. But what will this buy these stakeholders? Well, the creator, they're going to be able to know what to make, where, and when, so that they can actively cut these cost, carbon, and complexity from their supply chain. Buyers, they can get what they want on demand, and they can now be an active participant in lowering their own carbon footprint. And local producers, they can get plugged into a global network and start to manufacture on demand with the same authenticity, quality, and security as a traditionally manufactured product. So let's take a look at this in action, if the volume's high enough.
Viewing his distributed manufacturing networks. The capacity and capability of all the Deloitte smart factories are published to the exchange. Let's have a look at the one in Wichita, Kansas.
The smart factory is on. It's here. And we're ready to show you right now. 60,000 square feet of advanced manufacturing technology you can touch. Not a theoretical pie-in-the-sky idea, not some showcasey thing. Tech and capabilities to transform the way you do business today. Factory and network optimization, quality sensing and detection, workforce and warehouse efficiency, energy management, and more is happening here. And you can watch it all play out through an end-to-end industrial-scale production line, a fully connected, cyber-protected tech stack, and the factory's operations command center.
Here we catch a glimpse of the pipeless production process. Robots and modular equipment are connected by a fleet of autonomous AGVs. Because the equipment is decoupled, this factory has an infinite number of production lines that can operate in parallel to produce small quantities of personalized products. The Distributed Manufacturing Exchange matched Alastair's request for a personalized product to the capabilities of Deloitte's Wichita Smart Factory and downloaded the manufacturing blueprint using end-to-end encryption. Because the Smart Factory is software-defined, our Industry 4.0 execution engine can orchestrate all the resources to make Alastair's order on demand and ship it the last mile to his house, avoiding unnecessary cost, carbon, and complexity.
Wow, okay. Well, time's almost up, so we hope you enjoyed this very, very brief look into a software-defined future of manufacturing. Remember, You're going to see so much technology here at the fair. It'll be very impressive, but we believe that only here at Siemens with Deloitte will you see it applied with purpose to create a highly distributed, wicked smart network of radically flexible factories that will move your biggest lever, which is proximity. Now, last thing to say, we can use this technique to manufacture medical devices, aerospace, defense, automotive, CPG, food and beverage products. And we actually have a live food and beverage demonstration at the end of the Siemens booth. So please do drop by and have a look at it in action.
Or feel free to stop by the Deloitte booth over in 15 and we can talk more about this topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.